Come, whoever you are welcome here. No matter your age, your size, the color of your eyes, your hair, your skin, you are welcome here. No matter how you came here, if you came alone or with others, you are welcome here. No matter whom you love or how you speak or whatever your abilities, you are welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears in your eyes, you are welcome here. If you come with an open mind, a loving heart, and willing hands, then you are indeed welcome here. Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of New Orleans, a congregation gathered in love since 1833 to seek wholeness and work for justice in the world. I am Margot Anderson, and my pronouns are she and her. And if you are a visitor this morning, we invite you to raise your hand so that we can greet you. Morning. We are a lay-led congregation, and on Sunday mornings, we ask you ministers, other religious professionals, leaders from social justice organizations, and our own members to be voices of hope, courage, and spiritual or intellectual transformation from our pulpit. Today is our yearly Thanksgiving service that we call Bread Communion, And our worship leader today is Director of Religious Exploration, Katie Gelfand. Some members of the church have asked to pause the call to awareness and amends while we examine our relationship with both the words and with local indigenous groups. We continue to wish to remember that we are standing on land that was inhabited by others before us. And now, if you'll please rise in body or spirit as we light the chalice of our heritage, and join me in reading the words that you will find in your order of service, and then join in our sung response afterwards. And we are delighted to have Michael, Maddie, and Reed Martin lighting our chalice this morning. We light this chalice as a symbol of gratitude as we celebrate the abundance of our lives together. In this sanctuary, we harvest bushels of strength for one another and offer our crop with the hands of compassion and generosity. In the authentic and gentle manner of our connections, we cultivate a simple sweetness to brighten our spirits. May we be grateful for the ways we nourish and uplift each other, for it is the sharing of this hallowed time together that sustains us. We kindle this lighted celebration of the life we share. And please remain as you are for our opening hymn, number 346, Come Sing a Song with Me.
Thank you. You may be seated. Let us unite in the spirit of contemplation and stillness. Following the prayer, we will enter into a time of silence, which you can use for meditation, reflection, or the prayers of your own heart. We'll close the silence by singing together, voice still and small. First, I invite you to speak aloud the names of those in our circles of family and friendship who are in need of our prayers and ministry. May we hold these names and the beloveds whose names were not spoken in our hearts and uplift their healing with our prayers and care. Our prayer today comes from Leif Silgman. It's titled Each Breath. We pause in the stillness to rest for a moment, to quiet ourselves so that we can feel what stirs within us. Each breath draws us closer to the pulse of life. With each exhalation, we make room for something new. May we find in this gathering the comfort of those who care. May we encounter patience along our growing edges and compassion in our most tender spots. Here, may we find the inspiration and encouragement we need to face our challenges and to nurture ourselves. And in the presence of suffering across the globe, may we redouble our efforts to practice kindness where we are, with the hope that the light of our actions travels like the light of faraway stars. May our gestures of compassion and generosity seed possibility. May we travel humbly with one another, choosing reconciliation over resentment as we try to live right-sized. When life presses in and shifts us off balance, when pain assails us, when frustration mounts, may the rhythm of our breath steady us and bring us back to a place of gratitude. Amen and blessed be.
If you could see us sitting here at our old, scratched up, homemade kitchen table, you'd know that we aren't rich. But my mappa is trying to tell us we are. Don't they notice my worn out shoes? Or that my brother has patches on the pants he wears to school? And what about our old rattle trap pickup truck? You can't fool me, I say. We're poor. Would rich people sit at a table like this? My mother pats the table and says,
Well, we're rich, and we sit here every day.
sometimes I think I'm the only one in my whole family who is really sensible. Maybe I should mention that my parents made this table out of lumber somebody else threw away. Maybe they even had a celebration when they finished it. Understand, I like this table fine. All I'm saying is, you can tell it didn't come from a furniture store. It just doesn't look like a table where rich people would sit. My mom always says,
If all the rulers of the world could get together at a friendly wooden table in somebody's kitchen, they would solve their arguments in half the time.
my mappa always says,
It wouldn't hurt to have a lot of cookies piled up on a nice blue plate that everyone could reach without asking.
but tonight it's our kitchen and our argument and our family meeting, and our very spicy ginger cookies piled up on my mother's one good blue flowered plate in the center of the table. I'm the one who called this meeting, and the subject is money, and I say we don't have enough of it. I tell my parents, you should both get better jobs so we can buy a lot of nice new things. I look worse than anyone in school. I hate to bring this up, but it would help if you both had a little more ambition. They look surprised. You can see they never think about the things we need. I might as well admit that my parents have some strange ideas about working. They think the only jobs worth having are jobs outdoors. They want cliffs or canyons or deserts or mountains around them wherever they work. They even want a good view of the sky. They always work together, and their favorite thing is panning gold. Piling us up into that beat-up truck and heading for the rocky desert hills or back in some narrow mountain gully where all the roads are just coyote trails. After a month or two out there, they always had a little gold to sell, but you can tell it never made them rich. As far as I can see, it was just an excuse to camp out in some beautiful wild place again. They like planting fields of sweet corn or alfalfa, picking chili and squash, and training wild horses. They say they can't stand to be cooped up indoors. So now, of course, my mappa asks,
How many people are as lucky as we are?
I've called this meeting and I say, you could both make more money working in a building somewhere in town.
Remember, our number one rule, we have to see the sky.
But you could just look through a window. Duh. Am I the only sensible one in this family?
All right, Mountain Girl. We're going to explain how we figure our money. You be the bookkeeper tonight.
And by the way, my name's not really Mountain Girl. They call me that because I was born in a cabin on the side of a mountain where they were looking for gold one summer in Arizona.
It was the most magical place, the most beautiful mountain we ever saw. We wanted your first sight to be that mountainside, so we held you up outdoors at sunrise when you were just about 8 minutes old.
The truth is, I still like sunrise quite a lot, and my younger brother, my parents call him Ocean Kid. They like to tell his ocean story.
Since Mountain Girl already had the best mountain for her first sight, Mom and Mappa wanted to find the most beautiful ocean for me. They went all over Mexico to find a place where the ocean touches the jungle. They were looking for a certain kind of purple-blue night sky and the exact green waves Mappa likes best. And when I was born, they held me up to see those waves as my first sight.
You say that someday we're going to go back to the green ocean and the high mountain, but for now you can't afford to take us anywhere at all. No wonder I had to call this meeting about money.
But Mountain Girl, I thought you knew how rich we are.
We can't get very far in this discussion if you won't even admit you're poor.
Okay, I'll prove it to you. Let's make a list of the money we earn in a year.
How much is that? I'll write it down.
Not so fast. We have a lot of things to think about before we add them up.
What kind of things?
We don't just take our pay in cash, you know. We have a special plan, so we get paid in sunsets too, and in having time to hike around the canyons and look for eagle nests.
Can't you give me one single number to write down on this paper?
Let's start with $20,000. That's how much it's worth to me to work outdoors, where I can see the sky all day and feel the wind and smell the rain an hour before it's really raining. It's worth that much to be where I feel like singing. I can sing out loud, no one will mind.
You'd better make that $30,000 because it's worth at least another 10 to hear the coyotes howling back in the hills.
I like to see long distances and faraway mountains that change color about 10 times a day. I like to tell the time by the way those colors change from dawn to dusk. That's worth another $5,000 to me.
Oh, when the cactus blooms, you have to be there to watch it because it might be a color you won't see any other day in your life. How much do you think that color is worth? Another 5,000?
Okay, now we're at $45,000.
I love to listen to the bird sounds and learn how to call them. Doves, ravens, red-tailed hawks, quail, eagles, great horned owls. Having day and night birds around us is worth at least another 10,000 to me.
Let's see what Mountain Girl is worth to us.
I'm beginning to catch on to y'all's thinking. I guess I'm worth $10,000.
Don't underestimate yourself, mountain girl.
They list all the things they think are great on and decide one. I say I don't think so. I write it anyway. In fact, we realize that each of us is worth $1 million. So now we have $4,050,000.
I want to add another 5,000 for all the nights we get to sleep outside ours.
I want to live in country alone, not just turning wherever the wind takes me. Now we have $4,060,000, and we haven't even started counting actual cash. It doesn't seem to matter anymore. Said it all kinds of riches. I declare the meeting is over. The rest of them are going outside to see the silver of the moon in the sky, but I'm sitting here at our nice homemade kitchen table with one cookie left on my mother's good blue plate.
Beautiful time for all ages group. Let's give them a round of applause. That was very special. So now I will invite anyone forward who has brought bread that they would like to share about. I'm going to come over and meet you with a microphone. And the bread that's special to your family or to send you a little bit, you're welcome to come forward and do that now.
Hello, I made some pumpkin bread, which I've made the last few years, and I've told you all about it and how I grew up eating it. It was very special to me. This year, though, I made gluten-free pumpkin bread, as one of our family members is recently gluten-free, and I've discovered that in trying to adapt recipes to be gluten-free, it's a real experiment, and it's real peaks and valleys. Some things work and some don't, so I'm just going to say it's perfectly imperfect. I did notice it crumbles a bit more, but hopefully it still tastes good. It has a lot. A lot of sugar in it, so I would think it probably does.
Thanks, Sarah. And this is the gluten-free bread for anyone. There's some of it on the plates, but if you are gluten-free and you don't end up getting distributed a piece of it, please feel free to come and get one of those. It's labeled. Not yet, though, Cora. Soon. Anybody else? I saw lots of people bring special bread in. Really? So quiet today. Nobody? What about this one? This one looks good. Who made this one? What about this one? Y'all, I know you can't tell what I'm pointing to, but anybody else? Steve, great. It's okay if you bought it at the store. You could tell us about your day, how you came to have to buy it at the store instead of making it.
That's exactly what I was going to share. Yesterday morning, my daughter Josephine and I drove to Leo's Bread. Has anyone been to Leo's Bread? Very cool place, yeah. And we got a croissant too. And but we brought a focaccia that has tomato and olive in it. Yeah.
Thank you. Exactly. See, that's a lovely story. Just imagining Josephine and Steve going to Leo's Bread makes me so happy. And their croissants are really good. So if you haven't been there, I encourage everyone to go there. Not today, because you'll be very full on bread by the end of the day, I'm sure. But okay, anybody else have a cute story? See, great. I knew yours was special. You always bring a special bread.
I do, but not actually this year. And just in case you want to go to Leo's Bread, just remember that it closes at 2 o'clock. So you have to get there early to get the bread you want. Yes. Oh, now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yes. I usually make a children's bread, which if anybody wants the recipe, I have plenty that I'll bring next year when I remember, which can be stirred up by any kid and put in the oven and makes delicious bread. Next week, I'll bring the recipe. But this time, I just wanted to say I walked up to my local grocery store, and I'm so happy. It's only 4 blocks from my house. And guess what? They didn't have any good bread. So I was not reduced, but I got some other bread somewhere else. And I just want to say how wonderful it is to share out bread amongst all you people that I know and love. Thank you.
Thanks, Veronica. Also, this year's bread communion is sponsored by Leo's Bread.
I got my bread at the store. It's a baguette. But when I was like shopping for the bread, I was like, I want to get bread that reminds me of my dad because I miss him. He's in Maryland. And he likes bread and I like bread and we like to eat bread together. So when I was younger, he worked in DC and we lived in Maryland. And so he would take a train home every day. So he would like ride his bike from work to Union Station and then stop at Le Pain Quotidien and get a baguette and then bring a baguette home every night for dinner. And I would always like be sitting like, when's Daddy gonna be home so we can heat up our baguette and eat dinner? And so that's why I brought that.
Thanks. Anybody else? A little story. Great.
I brought cranberry orange bread, which I made. I'm sorry, the one place that I went to shop, you can shame Winn-Dixie. They didn't have any gluten-free flour. Anyway, I made that last year, and it's sort of a Thanksgiving tradition that I started. So I've frozen some to take to family in Memphis, and then for Randy's mother in North Mississippi.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, beautiful. Thanks. Thank you, everyone. All the bread looks wonderful. I'm sure they all have stories and heart behind them. We're now going to share our bread communion blessing. Margot and I are going to read it responsively. And if you like, you're invited to, I don't know if you remember during the flower communion, we do this sometimes. We'll hold up our hands toward the bread because I'm not the only one that can bless it. Just because I'm standing at the pulpit doesn't mean I have any special powers that you don't. So we're all, if you like, you're invited while we're doing the blessing. So just hold. Humans, mammals who roam this planet, make bread with the bounty harvested from the earth: flour, salt, herbs, sweet fruits, lots of fruits in these breads. When we eat the bread, we are nourished by the plants and herbs that create it, and our bodies are sustained and strengthened by this deep connection to the earth. Bees, creatures of the air, create honey from the nectar of flowers. They bless this golden liquid delight with the whimsy of flight and the graciousness of communal creation. When we eat honey, we take into our spirits all of that celestial sweetness. We, humans, are positioned between the earth and the heavens. We touch the earth and reach for the sky. And today we celebrate our connection to the earth and the sky with a ritual of community and gratitude. The elements of the ritual are bread, which represents what gives us strength, and honey, representing what makes life sweet. Please take a short moment to reflect on the sources of strength and sweetness for you. What provides stability and strength in your life? What grounds and sustains you? What makes your life sweet and shimmering? What uplifts your heart and blesses you with sparkles of joy? Take a short moment to reflect. This is a ritual of sharing. Our helpers will now begin passing out the ritual tools of bread and honey. One half of the room, which ones did I say? This half of the room is going to get a piece of bread. I would actually invite you to maybe take 2 pieces of bread because you're going to share with someone else. So this half of the room is going to get bread, and the other half is going to get a jar of honey. So when the music begins in a few moments, you're going to be invited to rise if you're willing and able, and to find someone who has whichever item you did not receive. So if you got bread, find someone with honey. If you got honey, find someone with bread. And let's please remember our friends who are going to remain seated. So you might make sure you look around and see if there's someone seated who is not getting up. So we want to make sure that they also find a buddy too. And if you're gluten-free and you need a piece of gluten-free bread, please feel free to come up and get that. When you found your partner, please share aloud with them what gives you strength and what brings you sweetness. You can take a moment. We're not there yet, so don't get up. Don't get up quite just yet. I'm going to finish giving instructions. I'm sorry. Finish giving instructions. So find the person, and then when you find them, you're going to pour the honey onto the bread. And then you're each going to share about what brings you strength and what brings you sweetness. Break the bread and then eat it together. And you're going to say together, it's in your order of worship if you forget, the words, "I am grateful for the sources of strength and sweetness in my life," and then eat together. And there'll be plenty of time at coffee hour to taste the bread that you didn't get, so let's just stick to the piece that you have, and then we'll share and delight in the excitement of tasting all the other breads later. But I do encourage you, please make this an embodied experience. Don't just go and find someone and then you're chit-chatting. Like, this is a ritual, okay? So taste and savor the flavor and the texture of the bread. Be enticed and intoxicated by the aroma of the honey and its magical flavor. And enjoy the music that's going to accompany this ritual, and really make yourself present to the person that you're sitting with. And again, you're going to say the words, "I am grateful for the sources of strength and sweetness in my life," after you share what those are. You may begin. find a honey or vice versa?
Oh, the gong. You could. Oh, that bread was delicious. And wasn't this a nice time to share with the honey? But we'll never get to coffee hour and to trying all of the breads if we don't. Please take a seat. Could everyone take their seats?
We'd like to invite everyone to return to their seats. Coffee hour will be occurring shortly, and we can continue to share about the delights and joys of our lives with each other then. There must be so much sweetness to share right now. That's really nice. Sometimes it seems like there's not enough sweetness, but clearly there is here. Thank you.
Thank you. Generosity is a spiritual discipline and we can now practice our art of giving, either by placing an offering in the collection plate or by using the information in your order of service. Right on the back, there's a QR code to give electronically. And just a note about the order of service, the music for taking up the offering will actually be the folk song Shortening Bread. Gifts to this community are gratefully received. Let us acknowledge these gifts by reading together the words in your order of service. This gift from the abundance of my life blesses me, our ministries, and the world. Giving in the offering plate and pledging are part of how we steward this congregation, but there are countless other ways to serve, build community, and share our love with the rest of the city. You can always read about the opportunities coming up in your digest, which can come in your email if you sign up for it, or by looking, putting your camera at the QR code under announcements on the back of your order of worship. 15 minutes after today's service, which is just enough time to get coffee and walk upstairs or go up in the elevator, the social justice team will have their semi-monthly meeting in the first UU office, which is at the top of the stairs on this side, and all are welcome. You can see Anne after the service if you are interested in ordering poinsettias. As part of, there's Anne right there as part of, and there's also a little printout in your order of worship if you'd like to get started ahead of time. It's a fundraiser we do every year to support the church and also to honor or remember special people in our lives. And after the last service of the month, you will also be able to take them home. We should point out that the Christmas tree sale is starting this Friday, which is the most fun fundraiser of our year. And you can sign up to take a shift. One of the most sweet smelling and fun ways to meet other people in the congregation. For all of the next 3 coming weekends, you can see Kathy at her table with a Christmas tree up at coffee hour, or even do it online through your monthly bulletin. And now I'd like to ask Barrett Smith to come forward with a spotlight announcement.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. So RE has a lot of events coming up for families, kids, RE volunteers. There's a flyer in the back if you want to grab it, and I'll tell you a little bit about what's coming up. So yesterday, some of us joined our friends on the North Shore for a little campfire. I heard that was adorable. And then now we're here for bread communion. this coming Saturday, we're having our first workshop of our climate justice zine project. So this year, what we're doing for RE is we're going to have a project that kids of all ages, volunteers, and parents are all invited to work on together. There are lots of different ways to be involved, so come learn about climate justice, learn about making zines. It's gonna be cool. So that'll be Saturday, 1 to 3:30, so do your Christmas tree shift and then come by. Then the next day, Sunday, after church, we're gonna have a little meet and greet with some of the Rain families. So that'll be really cool. We'll get to know our building neighbors and friends. So please come to that. I think it's gonna be really special. Then after, that'll be in the parlor, which is that room over there, and the courtyard. It's the room that you pass on the way to the fellowship hall. And then on Friday, December 6th, Parents' Night Out is back. Woo! And that will be in the Rainbow Fish room, which is where the kids' room is during church. That'll be 6 to 9 on Friday, December 6th. Then on Sunday the 15th, so that's the following, I don't know, it's the 15th. We're gonna have our holiday light service, which is a really special, beautiful intergenerational service. And then on Wednesday, December 18th, we're gonna have our second climate justice zine workshop, and that'll be on Zoom. So some of my older friends who are busy and have busy schedules, you can come hang out with me on Zoom, 6 to 7:30, Wednesday, December 18th. Put it in your Google Calendar. I wanna see you there. Okay, get your flyer, talk to me for more details. Also, we have a new RE brochure with more information about what does RE look like in this new space? What are we doing this year? So check that out. And if you see new families and want to welcome them and they have questions, you can point them to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry. I've always wanted to be invited to an activity in the parlor. That's one of the rooms in this church that I have not been to yet. I don't even think I quite know where the parlor is, but doesn't it just sound elegant? Someday. Now, if you wouldn't mind standing in body or in spirit and joining in our chalice extinguishing, it is in your order of worship. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Please remain as you are for our closing hymn, and you can look it up, but you're going to do some stuff with your hands with this song. So you may remember this. In the past, I like to do it at bread communion. So I'm going to teach it to you. I'm going to teach you the words first and then the hand motions. And then the idea is that you maybe interact with more people. Yay, I like to do that. All right, so the words are, from you I receive. Repeat after me. From you I receive. To you I give. Together we share. And from this we live. Okay, so from you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. Oh my gosh, you guys totally remember it from the last time we did it, I can tell. All right, we're gonna try one more time without the music, and then we're gonna have the music join in. And then I'll invite you to just turn, because you can do it when you do together we share, you can hold hands with the person. If you want, you don't have to. So like you could turn to the person next to you or behind you, or if you're feeling adventurous, you can move around the room, whatever you like. But we're gonna do it about 6 times through. So you can also just do it at a distance. Like me and Rowan could do it, but I'm standing up here and Rowan's there, and we don't interact, but like we're making eye contact, see, exactly. It'll be just like that. All right, but let's practice one more time without the music. From you I receive, to you I give, and that's where you would hold hands. Together we share, and from this we live. Amazing. Okay, you guys ready? Okay. And I'll stand up here and do it so you can watch me. Closing words. Closing words.
These
A
Unitarians
closing
are
blessing
so
upon you.
unruly, Katie.
I know, everyone's so excited. It's lots of energy in the room today. All right, your closing blessing. May you have strength in your heart and sweetness on your lips. May you give of your strength when another is in need, and may you receive gestures of sweetness when offered. May we share so that we may live. Blessed be. I'm so sorry for all of the moments that I just didn't do this the best way with you in service and stuff. So I'm really sorry.
I could have clarified sooner, and I think for even what Dwayne was writing to me, was like one process, right?
Right. I wanted to work with you because I was